one of the major themes that I'm finding in my re-education of myself for U.S. history is that if you really want to piss off the U.S. government, you should provide services that the U.S. government should be providing for people. Yeah, I just posted a video about Leonard Peltier and how he's still in prison after 50 years for a crime that the FBI admits that they don't know if he committed or not. Part of the reason why he is there is it was the end of the 60s, it was the mid-70s, and he was a leader in the American Indian movement, and that is a civil rights movement, right? The American Indian movement is based a lot off of the Black Panther Party, and we know that the Black Panther Party, specifically in Chicago, led by Fred Hampton, provided boatloads of services. Not just the free breakfast, but also free food, free clothing, help with housing, help with legal stuff. They also provided safe transportation, not just for the elderly in their neighborhoods, but especially for the elderly in their neighborhoods, because it was the 60s in Chicago. And the black neighborhoods in Chicago in the 60s probably weren't as safe. And that is something that the government should have been doing. And the Black Panthers said, you know what, fuck it, we'll do it. What happened to Fred Hampton? At 21 years old, that man was murdered by the FBI and the Chicago PD. They were in cahoots, and they did it together. Now, Leonard Peltier at 31 gets arrested for a crime he didn't commit, and over the next 50 years, it has been proven time and time again that the FBI and the U.S. government do not know that he is the shooter. They do not know. They cannot prove it. They withheld evidence. They fucking fabricated evidence. And that is what landed him in jail. Now, he has the mental fortitude of a goddamn ox, because that is 50 years of him maintaining the fact that he is innocent. In the face of so many trials and tribulations, in the face of getting the shit beat out of him at every location he goes to, right? Now, another one that I think about is Madame Restell. Madame Restell is an abortionist in the 1800s who is providing not just abortions, but family planning, birth control, and just conversations with working women about how hard it is to have another child when you're not prepared for it. Anthony Comstock goes after her and tries to put her in prison for the rest of her life. She fakes her own death and absconds to France. We're not sure if she faked her own death or not, but there's reports for the next decade of her being out of the country and being noticed elsewhere. And in a time where photographs were not a dime a dozen, it might have been easy to do that. But I'm just saying, providing services for people that our government should be providing, A, it's very important. B, it shows a downfall of our society, in my opinion. And C, it is the fastest way to make Big Daddy government big mad at you, and you will be hunted. And another part of this is the fact that these types of services kind of unify us all, right? They kind of do, right? Because there has been, the majority of us have either a time in our own history where we've needed food, we've needed clothing, we've needed housing help, we've needed legal advice, or we know someone very close to us who has, and it's a unifying factor. And it scares the ever-living shit out of them. Because when we start to wake up and realize that we are all much more similar than we thought, and we stop fighting, then we get to have that conversation of the fact that there are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us with terrible United Healthcare stories than there are of them.